Hello everyone. Today we'll be going through the basics of information visualization and we'll go through some of the theory on how information visualization is important and why is it necessary. And then we'll go through a worked example where we can figure out what choices do we make or how can we tackle some of the challenges we face while depicting the data in an informational way, as well as understanding the data in a visually attractive manner. So, to start off with, the most important thing is to understand that data, when represented in different manner, conveys different things. But as a human, we like to understand something that creates an image in front of us. So just to take an example, we'll always remember not to imagine a pink elephant. When I say that, quickly your mind goes and somehow tries to figure out how a pink elephant would look like. That's how powerful our imagination is. That's how powerful visualization is. Hence, while working in the data science field or as a data analyst, we try to depict the data in a visual manner rather than um, waiting for a lag for the person in front to understand or interpret, and then come back to the data analyst or data science person on why have you not chosen this kind of graph or a chart to depict this. So that's why information visualization is really, really important, where we need to understand the importance of it. So this is a PDF by Marty Haste, and this is from the university. And we'll be just going through to understand why is it necessary, and really important to understand information visualization. So again, to help us understand what is going on by imagining we remember stuff, and again, always come back to the example of a pink elephant, right? When you are not told to imagine, still you do, right? Let's go ahead. So uh, there are certain patterns that you recognize when you see the graphical representation of um, a problem or some data. Then you understand if there is a change in the trend, which you can figure out quickly using visual aids. Also, it helps us get a comparison, right? So it is a natural way of diving deep in our brain's ability to understand stuff graphically. That's why representing data in an informational manner is really important. Going ahead, yes, the problems at stake, with the current world, everything we do, scrolling through our phone, thinking about how to solve the water problem per se. Everything is data is recorded by second. Seconds matter. I mean, how long do you scroll a post, right? What do you understand from that? Looking at these issues, that the data sets are going to be huge, but at the same time, there's a constant running through them, right? Time, right? So there has to be a certain pattern associated with a person or a profile. For example, if we are talking about how much time do we spend on a social media site, there has to be certain pattern, and if we want to, use that or basically tackle those kind of problems to understand huge data sets. We can convert the information into a graphical representation and then use our intelligence to understand or, utilize these kind of insights so that we can understand or create a better solution so that we can make these Instagram or LinkedIn more engaging to the audience and make people scroll them more, or what kind of post works, right? Hence, this kind of data which we are right now getting, these are huge data sets, and that's where the visualization of it will help. These are some of the examples. Let me just take you to one of the example. Exactly. So again, we use maps on a daily basis, and trust me, if it was the way how my dad used to give directions to me, that you will see a building on the left, there will be a temple on the right side, that is the correct road, take a right from there. that is all confusing, that is all subjective. Now we are in an era where we are supported by open source maps like Google Maps and Apple Maps. These maps represent how the lanes, roads, the landscape is, right? It's quickly understandable. And with the evolution of GPS, pinpoint accuracy of the GPS, we are doing very well. This is a very prime example which we use every day in our life. We want to move to a building, we see where we are and just align ourselves with the map, right? And then we go to the place. Perfect example of how we are consuming data, representing it on a map, and using it live. That's a perfect example of visualization. I mean, just moving right through all these weird directions, subjective alignments of people that you will see something on the left, you will see Takeria on the right, and then you move ahead. No, none of that. Visually, you understand where you are standing, and we go ahead, right? There are some proper examples which you can go through. I just wanted to go through the channel part of it. Right. First of all, again, why visualization? Pattern recognition I mentioned, where you understand what is happening and how everything is taking place. Then there are some choices which we make, right? If we are talking about distance, we would like it to be in such a manner you understand if the distance is greater and there are two distances you are comparing. There's a length or a shape you decide to quickly understand that, yeah, point A to B was greater than point B to C. So something, these are the choices as a developer, somebody who's making these visualizations that you have to take, and we'll discuss this while we go through the working examples as well. Just wanted to go through what kind of tree maps and how. So tree maps are again a 2D layout. These are rectangles giving some kind of a hierarchy at the same time importance of the data, right? This is an example of a file system shown in a tree map that is an hierarchy trying to depict how the file systems are, right? Again, tree map too disorderly cannot use. I mean, if somebody has to use it, it's not so intuitive, but still it's a visual way to understand, right? How can we use tree maps better? We can use different tools and make it really useful if you just divide these tree maps and understand each of the layer rather than seeing all of them together. Okay, let's go to the choices we make. Right. So while we decide on what do we want to do, there is something which, as a developer, you need to keep in mind that there are different types of graphs which suit your depictions. These depend on sometimes the underlying data, mostly on the data, but sometimes there is an end goal at the end which you want to convey. And these choices sometimes directly relate to what the end goal is. And hence, these types of principles exist where we can discuss or go over the theory of certain principles that we need to understand so that while making a choice of what kind of a graph we are going to choose, we already have certain knowledge about what is the end goal and hence what to do with the data. Right. Again, these are the definitions of graphs. So clearly, now if you can see, graphs are usually to depict trends. Then charts, organizational flow charts, and how the data is distributed across the company, organization wide. Similarly, then maps. Maps are a great example, I feel. I mean, these are the real life example. I shouldn't say more. I have explained. Then there are diagrams as well. Sometimes diagrams are really necessary. As you can see in the example, you go to a dentist, you need to understand what is going on, right? But that is where the choice has been already made. Somebody chose to show you how that structure of teeth looks in an animated picture, but they could have gone for an X-ray, which is understandable by a doctor, but not for a regular person. So that is where the choice that we make is really crucial, right? Again, now we look at some common types of graph, and this is again the interpretability. People understand them quickly, right?